Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Twin Flame Collective reading. It has been so long. I'm telling you, life has just been so crazy, but it's so good to be able to do this today. I know so many of you beautiful souls have reached out to me, asking when I'll be doing this again. I miss you all as well. Um, it's not just you guys that miss my presence. Believe me, I think of you all the time. It's just so hard to find the energy and the time to do everything that you need to do in a day. But I am glad to be doing this, especially on the night of this lunar eclipse, where energies are really all over the place. They're heavy, they're difficult, people are purging, focus is shifting to oneself as an individual rather than just the twin flame connections, because that's exactly what needs to happen in order to see movement in the 3D, right? We tend to fixate on our counterparts so much that we forget to really pay attention to our own process, to what we need, what we are going through. And that's so important because our experiences influence the connection just as much as theirs do. And it's really important to not neglect yourself on this journey. So I'll be using the Moonology, the Kipper deck, the Starseed Oracle, the Star Codes Astro Oracle, just to get some energies, and then the Everyday Witch Tarot. So to start us off, I'm going to start with a Moonology card, and let's see what message comes through for the collective. There we go. Step out of your comfort zone. So this is very synchronistic with what I was just talking about earlier, to kind of stepping out of your comfort zone in terms of your twin flame connection is actually learning to trust and let go, right? Not having to obsess over what's going on with your counterpart, when is reunion going to happen. Like, it's uncomfortable to release the need to know those things because you feel already so out of control in this type of connection. And then to let that go, it feels like you feel like you're losing everything in that moment, but actually you're gaining a whole lot more. The second card to pop out is Believe in the Impossible, that sometimes things work counterintuitively, you know? We think that we have to stay focused on our goal in order to meet it, which in some circumstances, yes, that's true. You do have to stay focused on your goal to meet it, in order to make sure you're taking steps toward that every day. But when it comes to manifesting something that you don't have complete control over, for example, you don't have complete control over what your counterpart does, what decisions they make, when they are ready to make certain movements, because things do have to follow a logical sequence, right? And just like we can't make certain moves or decisions at the drop of a hat just because it's the thing to do. There's a process to everything. You have to be mentally and emotionally ready for it. Your circumstances also have to allow it. You have to be in a position to be able to adhere to those decisions that you make, rather than jumping in blindly and then feeling like, oh my gosh, this isn't sustainable. So along with all of this, we have meditate and contemplate at the bottom of the deck. So it does take some thought in order to carry out the decisions that these masculines know that they have to make in the collective. They know what they need to do. They're just trying to figure out how to do it. And sometimes that process can be very time consuming because other lives are also being affected in addition to theirs. The poverty card here flew out, and what I'm hearing is, some masculines may be financially dependent on a karmic partner. And that lack of financial independence isn't allowing them to move forward with the divine feminine. It's like, I'm hearing a divine masculine step in to say jumping from the pot right into the fire. So they have experienced what life is like to be dependent on a partner through their karmic relationship. They don't want to jump in with their divine counterpart also being dependent, like carrying those same patterns over. And this is also being divinely orchestrated and guided by the universe, by your angels and your guides, to make sure that, karmic patterns are not repeating in your twin flame relationship. Oh, here we go, you guys. Look, the Fool card flew out. The Fool is all about taking a leap of faith. It's about jumping into what you desire, like, taking a step towards what you want. It's about bringing a renewal to your life, to your connection. And this is exactly what's about to happen. Notice that it fell out in the sideways position. So this energy that had been stuck is becoming unstuck through all of these catalysts of, the lunar cycles, the portals, like the 1111 portal that we're about to enter in a few days. Everything, the universe is always working towards your union. These cards, you guys, are so synchronistic. So we have the Fool that talks about bringing in renewal. We have the Strength card. This is not just about finding their inner strength or their desire to take that leap of faith towards you. It's about them overcoming those external limitations as well, such as finances that we talked about. It's about them putting things in place with other lives that may be affected. Some of you in the collective have divine counterparts that have children with other people, that they can't just drop everything and come. And there's other connections within their karmic connection that has to be worked out of the equation before anything can happen between the twin flames and the 3D. So patient energy is extremely important here. But look, you guys, we have the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups that also flew out. The pages in all the decks are pretty much messengers, but the Page of Cups gives you such a strong implication of intuitive energy and of the existence of pretty deep romantic feelings towards the person you want to communicate to. And of course, the Ace of Cups in this context is all about new beginnings in love. So when we talk about new beginnings coming about for the collective, it doesn't always have to be movement in the 3D. There's so many stages to this, which is why separation between twin flames sometimes lasts for 2 to 3 years before you're able to reconvene. And that separation period is so important because there's so much happening behind the scenes. It's not just about ascending, finding your true self, and then boom, your counterpart appears. No, it's about learning to surrender to the process. It's about learning your karmic lessons. It's about figuring out what it is that you want to bring into this next relationship, figuring out what needs to be released, and growing as an individual, gaining a deeper level of maturity, emotional maturity, insights that otherwise you don't have. It is, look at how synchronistic this is, you guys. We have the Death card, which I like to call the Rebirth card at the bottom of the deck. This is an entire rebirth process. When you reconvene with your twin flame, you're not the person that you were when you first met, and neither are they. You both have completely upgraded spiritually, ascended, shed your old skin, stepped into a completely new one. It's like you're two completely different people meeting again. I'm just going to take this card. See, you're the Queen of Cups, Divine Feminine. The Divine Feminine steps into her full intuitive psychic power, and learning to surrender to the process, because what she knows is coming, she knows is coming. And she also understands that time is fluid, that the universe doesn't operate on her timeline or on anybody else's timeline. Things happen the way that they are meant to. And when things take time, it's worth the wait, because there's a reason it's taking time, right? The last thing you want is the past repeating itself, your divine masculine coming back not fully awakened, you still having to hear that ego side of him, and there just not being enough open communication, not being enough honesty, not being enough trueness and wholesomeness to oneself to really have that fulfilling relationship that you both desire. You have to grow into it, right? It's this is a funny metaphor, but it's something to think about, right? Like when you have relationships in junior high and high school, when you have relationships in college, and then when you date when you're in your 30s or 40s, it's completely different. Look at the disparity between the levels of growth, the levels of maturity and fulfillment that you have in each of those relationships. It's so completely different. And I think most of you in my collective here can relate to what I'm saying. And I hope that that helps to illustrate the importance of this no contact situation, of this separation part of the journey. And if you kind of reframe that for yourselves, it really becomes something beautiful rather than painful. It becomes something that's empowering rather than debilitating, because it's like, sending a kid off to college knowing that they're going to come back equipped with the knowledge that they need, ready for the career that they want. They're not going to be that same little bird that was the high school graduate in the nest. They're going to be an adult that is ready to face life. And while they still may need help and support from family every so often, everyone does, right? That's okay. But they are much more well equipped, much more wiser than they were before they left. And it's not just about the academic experience, it's about the social experience, the life experience that they gain being away from home, being around other people who are not their support system, who are not there to look out for them, where they really have to do it for themselves. It is an individual growth process. It's not even about the college education, it's about the life education that they get when they leave that nest. And so this is kind of like that same ideology with your twin flame. So let's take a look at what other energies are at work here. Fourth house, home, and Leo energy, shine. So there is a lot of fire and water energy here as well. Some of you listening may have either your or your counterpart's sun and moon in water and fire signs, so that's even more synchronicity. I will read from the guidebook what these cards are trying to tell us. So I'll start with this one, the number 5 card, which, by the way, the number 5 always to me signifies positive and pretty big changes coming in, like shifts that are going to affect multiple areas of your life. So, shine for the benefit of all. Leo's lion symbol asks you to be brave, be visible, share your heart, and warm all of those around you. Leo is a fixed fire sign ruled by the sun and is connected to the heart, liver, and upper back. The sun shimmers here, July 21st through August 22nd. Take your space, be visible, light up the room, but also honor the light within others. Leo asks you to be the hearth fire of the situation. That is a very synchronistic message. Hearth fire of the situation with this home card coming out. And also, you being asked to shine your light, but yet honor the light within others. And to me, what I'm hearing my guides say right now is, honor your desire for the connection, honor your desire for the timeline, but also honor the needs of your counterpart. This is where a healthy compromising relationship comes in, like learning to compromise in a healthy way with your counterpart, to where, okay, yes, I would have liked it this way, but I can see your need for more time here. So I will respect that. I will give you your space. In the meanwhile, I'll do my thing, and I'll know that you're working on coming back to me. I trust that. I trust you. Such a big part of this twin flame journey, you guys, is learning to trust. Not just learning to trust your guides and your angels, but learning to trust your true divine counterpart, because they are a part of you. And if you can't fully trust them, and I'm not talking about their ego self, I'm talking about their higher self that will lead them back to you. If you know that your divine counterpart has these feelings for you, trust that they are trying to figure out a way to come back to you. Sometimes their environment doesn't allow them to move as fast as even they would like, and surrounding energies really do have an impact on people. They don't allow you to see with the same clarity as you would if those energies aren't present. And this is especially true for divine counterparts in toxic third party relationships where emotional manipulation is there, where controlling behaviors are there, if the karmic partner is narcissistic or has other traits that are really just hindering to your divine counterpart and clouds their judgment, clouds their vision, to where they have a hard time differentiating what they should even do, what's right, what's wrong. All of those things have an impact. So to have more empathy for them and to put yourself in their shoes is probably the biggest favor you can also do for yourself, because it helps you see the bigger picture and it'll bring about a lot of healing for you as well. I know some divine counterparts have difficulty with seeing things clearly when they're in the moment. They're just as surprised and frustrated with their reactions as you are, divine feminine. Like, okay, I know this is what I want, but when I'm in this situation, why do I react this way? Um, I can, in my third eye, literally see a divine masculine struggling with this. It's like there's two mirrors, one on either side of him, and he's standing in the middle and he sees these two sides of himself, the side that knows what he wants, that is working towards getting towards his divine feminine, and then there's that other side that's stuck in this 3D manipulative karmic situation that triggers these reactions in him where, he's not thinking with his logical brain to respond. He's literally reacting just like, a reflex. And after the fact, hindsight is 2020, when this divine masculine looks back and, he's looking at himself in the mirror that's in front of him and he's saying, why did I do that? Why do I react that way? He is equally frustrated, but he doesn't even have an answer. He doesn't know, because he's not understanding the impact that the surrounding energies are having on him. So over here, especially through this lunar eclipse cycle, when everybody is getting triggered really easily, emotions are running high, and people may be getting loud because they feel like they're not being heard. It's important to hold space, be patient, and have empathy for the other person, because know that they are struggling as well. It's not just you, beautiful divine feminine. And then let's see, number 42, the house or the home card. If your chart were a village map, the fourth house would be your home base. Our early home life impacts our sense of sanctuary and how we bring things to conclusion. Come home and make it a sanctuary. Create a place to renew and to live an intimate, authentic life. Home is an emotional space more than a physical address, but both matter. So there we go. Immediately I heard a divine masculine step in to say mother-father wounds. Yes. We may be dealing with divine masculines here in the collective that have suffered somewhat of a traumatic childhood that is triggering these behaviors within their 3D life now in their adult age. They never learned healthy response patterns. They are still in survival mode. And this process, through this time of separation, they're learning how to get out of survival mode and into thriving mode. And while they're learning these difficult lessons, You're being protected from that ego death process, beautiful divine feminine. Trust that you would not be happy if you were in union with this masculine right now because of the way that he reacts to things. Trust that your connection is worth so much more. And any 3D physical separation is only making room for a better future for you. So this is the thought that I want to leave you all with tonight. I know this is a very short reading, but I felt it was important because today is energetically quite an important day. So I really hope this resonated. If it did, definitely let me know in the comments if it helps you. And also don't forget to join me on Instagram. I'll leave my handle in the video description box. So I hope to see you all there as well. If you would like to purchase a personal reading from me or my twin flame manifestation affirmations, which are on sale only until tomorrow, hop on by. Check out my stories for information on purchasing them if you are interested. I hope you all have a beautiful evening, and I'll talk to you again in the next video whenever I'm able to hop back on. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Good night, you guys.